The desert was never truly silent. It whispered. The wind dragged grains of sand across endless dunes, carrying secrets older than memory itself. Most travelers ignored those whispers, fearing what they might hear. But Captain Rafik al-Sahir was not like most men. Known across the wastelands as the Sand Corsair, he commanded a ship that sailed not on water, but across the dunes themselves. Its azimuth wooden hull rested on curved runners that sliced through sand like waves, driven by wind traps and relentless ambition. Beneath its deck lay treasures stolen from lost caravans, but Rafik was not chasing gold this time. He was hunting something far more dangerous: a legend. For centuries, stories spoke of the Golden Mirage, a phantom city that appeared only in the heart of the fiercest sandstorms. Those who claimed to see it either returned broken or never returned at all. Yet Rafik had something no other seeker possessed: a strange compass that did not point north, but instead pointed toward desire. And now, as he stood at the front of his sand ship, cloak snapping in the rising wind, the compass needle spun wildly, trembling toward a growing storm on the horizon. When his navigator Karim warned him that the storm ahead was unnatural, Rafik simply whispered, "Good. That means we're close." Soon, the storm consumed them. The sky turned a deep bronze, and violent winds howled like angry spirits. Waves of sand crashed against the ship as it groaned under pressure, and the crew fought desperately to hold everything together. Visibility vanished, and it felt as though the world itself had disappeared. Then suddenly, just as quickly as it began, the storm stopped. Silence fell. And there, standing before them, was a city unlike anything they had ever seen. Golden towers shimmered under an unnatural light, rising into the sky like molten sunlight frozen in time. The streets were wide and empty, lined with towering statues whose lifeless eyes seemed to follow every movement. The crew stared in disbelief, whispering in awe that they had found it. But Rafik knew better. "No," he said quietly, stepping off the ship. "It let us in." As they entered the city, an uneasy feeling crept into the air. Everything was too perfect, too still. Gold lay scattered everywhere, coins, jewels, priceless artifacts untouched for ages. The crew quickly gave in to greed, filling their arms with treasure and laughing in disbelief. But Rafik did not join them. In his hand, the compass had stopped spinning. Now it pointed in a single direction toward a massive palace at the center of the city. Without hesitation, he told his crew he would go alone. When Karim questioned him, Rafik gave a rare warning. If he did not return, they were to leave immediately if they valued their lives. Inside the palace, the air was cold and heavy. At its center stood a throne, and upon it sat a figure made of shifting sand and shadow, barely holding a human shape. Its voice echoed unnaturally as it spoke his name, calling him the Sand Corsair, and revealing that it knew why he had come. Rafik's grip tightened as he admitted the truth. He was not there for gold, but for his sister Lila, who had been lost to a desert storm years ago. The figure told him the city granted desires, but everything had a price. Without hesitation, Rafik agreed. The palace began to tremble as sand swirled violently, forming a shape before him. Slowly, impossibly, a woman appeared. Her face was familiar, her voice soft and uncertain as she spoke his name. It was Lila. For a moment, Rafik's heart surged with hope as he stepped closer. But then he saw it. Her eyes were empty. There was no life in them, no soul. And in that moment, he understood the truth. Outside, chaos erupted. The crew's gold turned to dust in their hands, and the once beautiful city began to crack and collapse. The sky darkened as the storm returned, swallowing everything once again. Karim shouted for the captain, fear replacing greed as they realized the city was falling apart. Inside, Rafik stepped back. "This isn't her," he said firmly. The shadowed figure responded coldly, insisting it was exactly what he desired. But Rafik shook his head. "It's what I miss, not what's real." The illusion began to crumble, Lila's form dissolving into sand. The creature hissed, questioning how he could reject his deepest wish. But Rafik stood his ground. He refused to trade truth for a lie, no matter how painful reality was. For a moment, everything froze. Then the figure laughed, a deep, ancient sound that echoed through the collapsing palace. It revealed that few ever passed the test, as most chose illusion over truth. The city began to dissolve completely, and the being allowed Rafik to leave, telling him he had gained something far more valuable than gold. Rafik ran back to the ship as the storm consumed the city once more. The crew barely escaped, their sand ship thrown violently through the chaos, until once again, everything fell silent. The storm was gone. The golden mirage had vanished as if it had never existed. Only the endless desert remained. Hours passed before anyone spoke. Kareem finally asked what Rafik had found inside the palace. Rafik looked down at his compass. For the first time in years, the needle was still. He gave a faint, peaceful smile and said, "I found what I was really chasing: closure." With that, he turned toward the horizon, his sharp gaze returning. He ordered the crew to set course once more, reminding them that the desert was still full of caravans waiting to be hunted. As the sand ship roared back to life and cut across the dunes, the wind carried a new legend across the wasteland, not of gold or riches, but of a pirate who faced the golden mirage and chose truth over illusion.
So this was the story of a Kareem person who dared to meet with the deal, and he never afraid, and he got success in this examination, that he can face any Satan in his life. So everybody should have to be working bravely and honestly. If your crew is operating, support them in this situation. So you people all will get the success in this format. Thank you so much.